Welcome to episode 42 of the Bulls REKAP Podcast. I'm Joe Cowley of the Chicago Sun-Times. You could obviously read me in the Sun-Times sports section, probably a Bulls story, or you could follow me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at JCowleyHoops. Not a fun follow. Lost about 200, 250 followers since the Bears Monday night game. Sorry. Some teams are 1-0, some aren't. That's life. Big news. Josh Giddey. The Bulls have signed Josh Giddey 4 years, $100 million. Here's a way to look at it. Is it half full or half empty? Is the glass half full, half empty? I've come to the conclusion that it's half full, but it's kind of with curdled, spoiled milk. And here's why. When you think about Josh Giddey, $25 million a year, that feels really good if you're a Bulls fan. He wanted $30 million. He wanted the Jalen Suggs contract that de-escalates, actually. Suggs makes like $35 million this year, but by year 4, it's down to 28. So that's just, it was kind of front-loaded and de-escalates like that. The interesting thing is when you think about Josh Giddey, $25 million a year, the spoiled milk is the Bulls were in the same situation last year and are paying Josh Giddey, who they feel is a high ceiling all-star potential. They're paying him about $25 million a year. They're paying Patrick Williams, who is probably diminishing as far as minutes with the addition of Isaac Okoro, just $7 million a year less. There's your curdled milk. So as good as the Bulls want to feel about this negotiation for a guy that wanted $30 million, they offered probably 22, 23. I've said on this podcast, I reported in the Sun-Times, patience, relax, RELAX. It was going to happen. They didn't trade Alex Caruso so they could watch Josh Giddey walk after just one season. That was not going to happen. So, or allow him to bet on himself and do a qualifying offer. So this was always going to happen. The fact that they got it at $25 million and not 27, kind of cut in the middle, would have been 26, 27, has to feel like a win. So as far as what the cap looks like for them next season, even with the addition of Giddey, they're the third lowest cap after this upcoming season because they, Kobe White, free agent, they're going to look to resign him. So that's going to change. But as of right now, guaranteed contracts beyond this upcoming season, they are just at $77 million. Utah's at 76. The Wizards are at 26. That's it. That's the bottom cheapest 3 teams in the NBA. Where it gets interesting for the Bulls is, yes, they do have this cap flexibility, but what does that really mean? So that remains to be seen because we don't really know the climate. We didn't have a full understanding of the climate this offseason with the restricted free agents. So what I thought would be fun, they now have Josh Giddey. He's locked in, $25 million. We know what he did last, post All-Star break, however many games it was, 20, whatever it was. I think it was like 21 points, almost a triple-double, average almost, and shot like 45% or 46% from 3. It was ridiculous. He's not that dude, okay? But he's also not the guy that they were benching, back in November because he, couldn't stop a swinging door from getting by him. So what I thought would be fun, bring in my guy, the crime dog, Ryan McGuffey, and we're going to go through Eastern Conference.
Okay.
Point guards. I'm going to tell you, I'll ask you, because I have a kind of a ranking and we'll discuss it. Giddey, better than or worse than when we take in their playing style and how much they're going to be making next year?
Okay. Before we do that, how much more fun is it for you to spell out RELAX knowing he's your guy now? I mean,
look, I've always liked the guy. You could go back and
me too. I know it's not popular amongst people.
I just dig a dude that's just like, you know what? I'm just going to go do some ayahuasca. I'm just going to go in some dark cave. I'm just going to do whatever I want. I own you, Chicago. The discount double check. I've always liked the dude, and he never affected me because he was in the, he's opposite bracket. The only time, obviously 2010, the Super Bowl, Packers, Steelers, wanted to see Rodgers get dumped on his head and have an injury. But beyond that, I've always liked him. So the fact that they got him, and I had a feeling that people wrote him off, because I figured he would fit perfectly with Artie Smith's offense. I mean, a lot of play action. He's really good with the ball and ball fakes. He's really good with snap count and keeping defensive lines off balance. But B, I also felt like he really wanted to stick it to the league. And I don't know if this is just going to be a one-year thing. Ideally, they draft a quarterback and he sticks for one more year and could kind of mentor that guy. But that's cart way before the horse.
Week to week, my friend.
I know. But week 1 against the Jets, God, I loved it. Loved it. So, the RELAX. Glad you caught that. I don't know how many people caught that, but
I caught it. Yeah. If you know. If you know, you know.
Exactly. So, I listed a bunch of point guards in the East.
Okay.
And let me preface the one, Tyrese Halliburton. To me, he's, when healthy, is number 1.
Okay.
He's $45 million next year, and he's not going to play. I put him ahead of Giddey, even though he's not going to play next year. So that's the only one that's kind of an asterisk.
Okay.
The rest of them we'll just go down and we'll kind of discuss. But Tyrese Halliburton, to me, is number 1. And the reason he's number 1 is I don't care what his numbers are. I don't care how kind of he seems to disappear in spots, almost kind of like Jimmy Butler does in the playoffs sometimes. There's some times where you're just like, why are you not imposing your will? Come winning time, to me, there's no better point guard than Halliburton the last couple of years. He is just an assassin, a dog. I put him number 1. His skill set is ridiculous. His three-point shot is ugly. A lot of stuff he does is awkward, but dude is just a winner. So I put him number 1, and I don't care if it's $45 million next year and you're not going to see him play. So we agree with that, or is there someone else that
100%. I mean, he's willed that team. Look what he's done with the Indiana Pacers. He's put him on his back and taken him further than 100%. I think people in Indiana thought.
Exactly. So he's number 1. Close second, Jalen Brunson.
Ooh.
So
I love Jalen Brunson.
I love Jalen Brunson because, again, just an assassin when it matters most.
Dog.
He's $34 million, so he's $11 million cheaper than Halliburton. Remember, he took a discount to play there. You know, were they going to hire his dad if he signed or re-signed and all that? Yes, and so he's done them favors to make sure that they can have a Towns and have pieces around him and have the Villanova guys. I would argue almost first for him, but my concern is Tibbs point guards go from average to good, good to great, great to legendary. And right now Brunson is legendary in New York. I'm not saying in the NBA scope. How much does that now take a hit? Because Tibbs isn't there. Mike Brown, there aren't a lot of point guards running around saying, wow, I love playing for the Mike Brown offense because it really excels and really shows me up. Tibbs has a lot of ISO with his point guards, which we saw with Derrick Rose on his way to MVP. DJ Augustine redid his career. Nate Robinson got his first multi-year deal in Tibbs's offense with the point guard. So Brunson's second, $34 million. And I'm going to mention another name, and here's where the debate's going to be. Cade Cunningham, Detroit Pistons.
I had a feeling you were going to have him ranked high. I think he's on the come for sure. The Pistons are here. I don't know what's not. The only reason I think people would debate that one lower is because they just don't know yet. And
right.
I would say I would push back and say then watch the film because the dude is the key cog in that wheel. And when you look at his numbers, when you just stack him up against the other, put point guards, put all players in there, but point guards specifically in there. Cade Cunningham, it's like Tyrese Halliburton, Cade Cunningham.
Right.
Tyrese Halliburton, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Brunson. The 3 guys you've listed, pick a stat, pick a metric, boom, boom, boom. Cade Cunningham finds himself in the conversation. I don't really have a problem with Cade Cunningham at all because I think if we were doing this debate a year from now, everyone's going to be like, you better be mentioning Cade Cunningham in the top 3.
Right.
And when I look at Brunson, like he defines dog to me. Like
yes.
if you told me, that's why I think you said close first to Halliburton, because when I think about 2 guys that have done more with less. And I'm talking, I mean, the New York Knicks doing more with less is kind of funny because you're in New York. It's those two guys. Like those two guys took teams on their back and have the capability to do so when the fourth quarter comes on. And it's like, all right, here's how it's going to go. Coach, step aside. It's my team now. And I do believe that Tibbs, I wonder about the contract extension or with Jalen Brunson, if he took a hit, also knowing that Tibbs is here, I'm happy, etc. And now that Tibbs is gone, that's going to be an interesting storyline in the NBA.
And the thing is, we don't know which players put the knife in Tibbs's back. Could it have been Brunson hoping that his dad got promoted and pushed up? We don't know that. That's probably something we may never know, but it'll be interesting to see what Brunson is. So we're in agreement. Those top three guys, Josh Giddey is not better than those three, even though his contract is $20 million cheaper than Halliburton this upcoming season, $21 million cheaper than Cunningham. People are forgetting Cunningham got the max deal. He's $46 million this upcoming season. Jalen Brunson, he's only $9 million less. But I'm good with those three ahead of Josh Giddey, and he's $25 million.
I will co-sign.
Okay. Here's where it gets fun. I love this guy. He's not a pure point guard, but he's their point guard. Tyrese Maxey, Philadelphia 76ers. This dude, with all this Embiid crap, do I play, not play? Besides last year, and I think I think Maxey was playing hurt last year. He was kind of the last one standing. I mean, Quentin Grimes gets a lot of love because, Maxey eventually went down. But Maxey, to me, was that last guy standing. And to me, he's the wild card piece in this. He's only making $37 million this upcoming season. Do I think he's $12 million a year right now better than Josh Giddey? I do, because I've seen him do it on a bigger stage than they've only been in the playoffs once, but Maxey is a problem. He's not the greatest defender. Neither is Josh Giddey. Halliburton, I thought, played really good playoff defense last year, but so far, none of these guys are like, yeah, he's a really good defender too. So that's why I have Maxey fourth, and I have him, yes, better than Josh Giddey. What say you?
Here's my concern with Maxey. He's continued to be most improved player, which I still think Kobe White should have won that. I'm concerned about availability with this guy. Tyrese Maxey, maybe it's because he's in Philadelphia and it's very popular not to be available.
That's the culture. Sit out.
So the year that 2 years, not this past season, but 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago, he played 70 games, started 70 games. That's about the max we're going to see from NBA players.
Right. That's an NBA player. Yeah.
So, but you look at the other years. I mean, he played 52 last year. He played 40. I'm just looking at starts here. He played 41, 3 seasons ago. When playing, yes, I will sign this. That's my concern when we're talking about the rankings here. I'm going to push pause on Maxey because I think the game is there. The offensive game, fantastic. I think they kind of shut him down last year. I don't know how much of that was his choice. I think they saw the writing on the wall and said, hey, we're going to tank without saying we're going to tank. We'll let Quentin Grimes play his ass off. But I think once they saw the big man wasn't coming back and they lost McCain, who probably was on pace for Rookie of the Year before his injury, just the way I think he played 15 games or whatever it was. It wasn't a lot. Once they saw the writing on the wall, I think they said, you're playing hurt. We know that. We're shutting you down. We'll never know for sure. But to your point, yes, availability has to be a bigger focus for Maxey. I agree think he's
that.
Definitely a better scorer than Giddey, in my opinion.
Right.
Facilitator, I don't know. But
yeah,
like you said, he runs point in Philadelphia. Would that be the same somewhere else? I don't know. But
that role may change this year. Now, if all these pieces come back healthy, he may be a pure 2-guard. So I'm just basing it on that this guy's had to be a point, by hostage, not volunteer. Yeah. So we'll see. But I'd still have him ahead of Josh Giddey. Okay. This one,
can I ask before you go here? What are the qualifiers? I know we talked about contract, but what are the qualifiers is better than Josh Giddey? Because I do think there's certain things Giddey, he might be better here. You know what 100%.
I'm saying? I'm taking into skill set, all around skill set, and how much bang for that buck.
Okay, boom, perfect.
Okay, yep. So the whole shebang. This one is very debatable. The next couple are very debatable. Darius Garland.
I knew this one was coming up.
$39 million next year, so $14 million more than Giddey. And here's why I have him ahead of Giddey. I think he's a more consistent three-point shooter. He doesn't always have the ball in his hands. He's not a very good defender, neither is Josh Giddey. But in the playoff games that he has played, and this is my problem with him, availability, he's a little fragile. And this is one that I can be swayed either way. I seen him put up 30 against Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago. I seen him, when Donovan Mitchell was double teamed and taken out of games or disappeared from games. And this is why I can be swayed. He has Donovan Mitchell as a running mate. So that frees up a lot of things for him because Mitchell just takes so much gravity and so much focus. So that one, as of right now, I have him because he's an all-star. Because of what he's done, I've seen him do in a playoff game. I've never seen Josh Giddey do anything in a playoff game. I seen him the last time he played in a playoff series, he was benched because he was unplayable for Oklahoma City. So I'm basing it on that the last time I saw you guys on the highest stage of playoffs, one guy was pulled and unplayable. The other guy I saw do some pretty good things. Inconsistent, wasn't always available, but I saw him perform better. So that was my final argument of why Darius Garland goes ahead of Josh Giddey.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy that argument only because we're arguing
the
Josh
Donovan
Giddey.
Mitchell factor. You're taking Donovan Mitchell.
That, and we're arguing is he a different Josh Giddey? And I would argue yes. That
could Josh Giddey do this if they were switched?
That's the real question.
I mean,
I think he can. I think I would probably, because on the bang for the buck argument, I'm taking Giddey in this case.
Okay.
The 3-point shooter that he's getting, he's a better 3-point shooter. He's getting more looks. But when you stack everything else up against on the ledger and then you throw the contract into it, I guess here's my question. Does Darius Garland make other players better on the team?
Better?
I don't know the answer to that.
And that's tough to answer because Mitchell is
and
there.
The other argument, and then the other question is, well, does Josh Giddey make other players better? Well, I can tell you this: the Bulls started to look a lot like Kobe. You talked about this on the podcast earlier in the year when the Bulls were playing. That Io seemed to be the guy who clicked better with Josh, and then at some point, the pendulum swung a little bit where Kobe figured it out too, and Josh and Kobe started doing this. Yeah. And is that a little bit of Kobe figuring it out? Is it a little bit of Giddey figuring it out? Is it a combination of everything? And because of that, we learned that the Bulls were a fraud in March because you were always saying, don't buy the hype. Don't get excited. Don't buy the hype. Yeah. If there's one thing I will buy, the cohesiveness and the future of Kobe White as a Bull, I think to me seems a lot more clear now. So I'm going to go bang for the buck.
So you're going, I got Garland 5th. You have Giddey ahead of him for right now.
I do.
Okay. All right. This guy, to me, the only problem is this guy is not a very good defensive player. But as far as I think he's an underrated playmaker, and he is an assassin in big games. Tyler Herro, Miami Heat. He's their point guard, technically. He's not your he's a scoring first point guard, but he brings the ball up. I think his playmaking's underrated. And when there's a big shot for this team, and I don't care what anybody says, he took Giddey. It didn't matter. He took Giddey and Kobe White and beat their asses in the play-in game last year. It didn't matter who was on him. That first quarter, he assassinated both of them and said, you both are in a long, long day. He's only $31 million. Yeah. And then he goes up to like $33 million next year. And then he's a free agent. So I'm taking bang for the buck in there. I just think Tyler Herro has proven it on a bigger stage. And I can't get out of my head what he did to both. It didn't matter who was on him, Giddey and Kobe last year. He killed them. On both ends, he killed them.
All right, so going back to the last argument we just made, like if we're gonna do that with this to me is a no-brainer. This one's Tyler Herro. And because I will go with recency bias. And I did see it in a quote-unquote, we'll call it the play-in game. It's perfect.
Play-in game.
It's a playoff. It's a one and done. And Tyler Herro walked into your house and owned you, told you he was
Mhm.
going to own you, showed he was going to own you, looked the entire bench up and down, including Billy Donovan, and said, hey, when you're ready for the big stage, let me know. This is an easy argument. Like if I'm asking right now, I need a shot to be made between Tyler Hero, Darius Garland, and Josh Giddey. This is like, give me the money. I'm putting it all on Tyler Hero, and we're
100%.
going. So I'm going. That's an easy one for me.
All right, this one, you're probably not going to agree with me.
What?
Probably a lot of fans aren't going to agree with me. There's some bias involved here.
Uh-oh.
Yes, my oldest son played against this guy in an 8th grade football game, and he was just lethal. Jalen Suggs.
Ooh.
So this was the Giddey contract. Giddey wanted the Suggs contract. Suggs is making $35 million this upcoming year, but like I said, it de-escalates. I think it goes down to $28 million by year 4. Here's why I like Suggs over Josh Giddey. Whether it was an 8th grade football game, high school, on both the football field and the basketball court, multiple state championships. Gonzaga, probably one of the greatest shots. They didn't win it, but to get them there, one of the greatest last-minute shots where he's standing on a table. Team USA, people forget his Team USA, the 18 and under, dominant, gave the world fits. And now to me, Orlando, they kind of struggled last year when Suggs was hurt. I take Suggs over Giddey because I just think he is a flat-out winner at every level, and now we'll have a chance. Now that he's got Desmond Bane and he's got players, I put Suggs ahead of Giddey because I think the dude just doesn't know how to lose.
Wow.
Do I sway you? You don't look like I swayed you. Again, this one's a little more personal to me because I know the kid.
I need to send me the game film of that 8th grade game.
We may still have it on Huddle. We may still have it. It was actually, so we were a city team. They were an all-star team from St. Paul. And we were up 14-7 right before half. We're like, don't let anyone behind you. Don't let anyone behind you. Suggs scrambles. Our safety thinks he's running, comes up, kid behind him. Now we're tied at half. They get the ball. They score 21-14. We end up losing 28-21. But, and that's when I was introduced to Jalen Suggs and have followed him since. I just think the dude, first of all, he's just built not to lose. And I'm anxious to see if Orlando can now be that elite team. And he's the heartbeat. They got Franz Wagner. He's, he is what he is. And they got some other dude, Desmond Bane. And those are going to be the ones that shine. But the heartbeat of that team, to me, is Jalen Suggs. And he will be the one that hits key shots in key moments.
Wow. Better defender, too.
Oh, he's a ridiculous defender.
Yeah,
Gave Zach LaVine fits.
That's the part for me that leans Suggs. But is he a better shooter than Giddey? No.
He's got his 3-point shooting has gotten better. That was the knock on him. Could he? If you look, this one's
pretty.
This one's tough.
This one's tough. When I look at Giddey, Giddey can rebound the basketball. Giddey can. He's a stat stuffer. I thought he was truly just a stat stuffing machine. Probably December, January last year. I'm like, just his line looks good. The Bulls lose by 15.
Right. It wasn't impacting winning. Then it started to impact.
Yeah.
Here's my final pitch to you, my final argument. If Josh Giddey had to go play for Orlando, who slows it down and counts on their defense, he would be benched like he was in OKC.
All right.
If Jalen Suggs went and played for the Bulls, he would be just the same up-tempo, let's freaking run, let's just go. Because I could play either style point guard.
Okay. I'll give you Suggs, but we could have this conversation at the midway point this year.
All right. It might be a revisit. Okay. Now I'm putting Josh Giddey there. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got Giddey 8th. You have Giddey 7th because you have Garland behind him.
I do.
Okay. Here's the two that I have behind Giddey. I cannot stand their games. I think their games are unserious, and the amount of money you have to pay for unserious basketball irks me. LaMelo Ball. I will take Josh Giddey. As many little 15-year-old kids are going to want to argue with me like they do on Madden when I'm beating them, or NCAA football, and I tell them to go tell their mom to shave her back, and then they don't really fully understand the scope of that. I will argue that give me Josh Giddey over LaMelo Ball, because I think LaMelo Ball is not serious about basketball. I think he's a great mixtape guy. He is a great highlight. He is a great watch me shoot from 40 feet for no apparent reason whatsoever. But I also know the money coming his way. It's $37 million this upcoming year, and then it's just going to go up and up and up. You're going to be paying a lot for him. I think Con Knipple is the adult in that room and on that team and will make Charlotte better, but it's not going to be LaMelo Ball, because I've watched it now for 3 or 4 years, however long he's been in the league, and they are still the same losing crap team with or without him playing well.
No, you just finished it right there. When has LaMelo Ball ever impacted winning? If you want, I just talked about Giddey being a stat stuffer in December. No, LaMelo Ball is the stat stuffer, because they are at the exact same place year in and year out in the lottery, in the East. They're never serious about winning. They flirt. They'll go 4-2 in November, and someone's like, "Oh, hear that?" And then they just shit the bed. They lose 5 or 6 in a row. LaMelo all of a sudden has a phantom injury and he's out 8 games. No, you can have him, package him, especially the bang for the buck. I mean, especially the bang for the buck. Package him and punt him into the sun. Why has he not been? Maybe he will be. Eventually, will be out of Charlotte.
I mean, because that's all they've had. He's the show. He's the only reason there's asses in the seats. It's embarrassing. And there's not even many asses in the seats when you go to a Charlotte game.
You know this better than me. How many calls are the Charlotte Hornets getting every year about LaMelo Ball? Hey, we need him to impact our team down the stretch.
No.
Yeah.
He's a 4th or 5th piece on a championship team, and that's just because you need someone to push the ball up tempo. And he'll mess it up. He will irk so many people.
All right, and don't tell him he's the 4th or 5th piece.
Oh no, you can't tell him.
So easy, package that up, ship it back to Charlotte. I have no interest.
So that puts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here's my number 10 point guard. Can't stand his game. I think he's had one good playoff run, and since then, crickets. The team's gotten worse. Mr. Trae Young. Don't like anything about him. I think you talk about empty calories, dumb shots, dumb moments. He makes Josh Giddey look like freaking Alex Caruso on defense. I don't like anything about his game for $45 million this upcoming year. And again, a price that only goes up. They are trying to move him. Nobody wants him. He's one of those guys that would be great if the Lakers could make a deal for him right now, but they don't have the cap room to do that, because you would hope that being alongside Luka and LeBron would teach him professionalism. And I'm not saying he fits there schematically. He doesn't, because of Luka is so ball dominant and Trae Young so ball dominant. But I'm being with adults that are proven. He has to be in a situation like that. I'm trying to think of another team that, like Oklahoma City, would want to kill him. They'd want to throw him off the plane. There's just so many places where he just doesn't fit, where it's even to the point where Atlanta would love to trade him if they could. So there's nothing I like about him. I don't even know where he fits. I'm just trying to think, where would he be a finishing piece where a team would put up with this crap? Boston, maybe, if they're healthy, because Jaylen Brown and Tatum would be like, yo, there's a way we do things here. He doesn't fit schematically with what they do, because you have to defend. I don't know. And that's the thing. He gets away with this crap in Atlanta, and that, to me, he could get away with this crap in Charlotte, Washington, places that are unserious right now. I'd take Josh Giddey over him any day that ends in Y.
He also is terrible on College Game Day as a guest picker last week. I just was bored by him. And not that matters in this argument, but he's a perfect Hawk. I've been waiting to say that since we started this debate. I knew Trae Young's name was going to come up. Atlanta's just like it's just purgatory for basketball to me.
Yeah.
And people in Atlanta, like if you ask them, are you fans of the Hawks? It's like, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, if they're doing well.
That's kind of how I feel about Trae Young.
Playoffs. Yeah.
Like that's how I feel about Trae Young. Like I mean,
Yeah.
I guess like he's gonna piss me off a lot more than he's gonna make me smile. And when it comes to running or being on my basketball team, I'm good because there's not a shot he doesn't like. It is about him when it shouldn't be at times. And for the like you said with the price tag and how Atlanta is screwed because of him. Like nobody is
Can't
going.
move him.
Let me go play. Let me go play with that guy because they're making phone calls and no one's picking up. And in a he's got a little LaMelo in terms of the game to me. It's just like I don't want to watch it, but he's not quite the show that LaMelo is.
No, and LaMelo will always rebound. LaMelo can do some other things. Trae Young is he's a good playmaker. I think his best skill is playmaking.
Sure.
If to me, if he just wanted to be a point guard playmaker and hit shots when teams are going to kind of fade off of him or on a pick and roll if they don't get over the screen, great. But just the other stuff he does, and look, his playoff run where he upset the Knicks, fantastic. That was one and done, and that was 4 years ago. Now we're talking, I think. So I mean, I don't forget the Josh Giddey comparison. I'd take Giddey over him. I just don't like his game. I don't think it's winning basketball. I don't think it will. Atlanta is finding it out. It's just not winning basketball, and I think they're trying to change the climate by doing what they're doing and bringing in some defensive long guys like they did in the draft, Asa Newell. But I thought they had the trade with New Orleans too, could help maybe land them a point guard next year. If New Orleans is really bad, there's some dogs at the top of the lottery that could change things for them drastically. But how do you get out of that contract? That's the problem. So, all right, so let's a little summary. Halliburton, Brunson, Cunningham, Maxey, we were good at.
Yes.
Okay. Garland, you took out. You moved Tyler Hero up, so you have Hero 5. I have Garland 5, Hero 6. Suggs was debatable.
Yeah,
Garland,
Suggs
he's the fringe one. We'll
fringe.
revisit that one.
Yep.
You have Giddey then.
Yep.
Ahead of, and then you have Garland, LaMelo Ball, Trae Young. The difference is I have Garland ahead of Giddey. Suggs will have the revisit, but we both agree 100%. LaMelo Ball, Trae Young, put them behind Josh Giddey.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Some people may look at that and go, "You guys are out of your damn mind," which is fine.
I don't care. When LaMelo Ball and Trae Young are holding up something of significance, let me know. And that at that price tag. And again, one of those guys could be moved to a contender and maybe change their whole philosophy like anyone else. But currently, as it stands, I find both of them unserious about basketball and not worth the money.
Change. So this list is based off September 10th, 2025, when we're taping this.
Yes. So for $25 million, the Bulls have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th or 7th best point guard in the Eastern Conference, according to us two.
About where they are. Hey, Joe, it's about where they are. 7th or 8th in the Eastern Conference.
He's about in the play-in tournament for point guards in the East. So, all right, brother. Thanks for jumping in and doing this. That was fun.
Guy.
I mean, I can do this kind of stuff. You know, this is a barroom debate, kind of just sitting around with your boys and just throwing things out there. So, loved it.
Happy to do it, and let's go. Let's finish. Give us the rant because we're all ready.
Got the rant coming up. Here we go. Cowley Island, the rant. AK. Unbelievable that you got Josh Giddey, the guy that you traded for, the guy that you handed a championship to Oklahoma City for by giving them Alex Caruso, the final piece of the puzzle. So you did build a championship, just not for the Bulls. You built it for Oklahoma City. That's fine. That's an argument for another day. You can build a championship roster, just not your own. But you got Josh Giddey. Now you locked him up for 4 years at a price that is ridiculously good. There's not a Bulls fan that should wake up and go, horrible contract. This is not a Patrick Williams situation. But before you go puffing out your chest because you had a big protein shake delivered to you by the NBA, let me remind you of this. You negotiated hard this year because the league taught you and gave you the protein shake to flex those muscles and tell you, yes, you do not have to hand these guys contracts. Yes, you do not, you can be tough and you can say, no, this is our final offer. All right, we'll meet you up a little bit. Because when you were in a similar situation last year, before teams were paranoid about the apron. They knew it was coming, but they weren't strapped by it yet. The first apron, second apron, before people were in cap hell because of this new CBA. You simply said, Patrick Williams, we are not going to let the market bid for you. We are going to give you $18 million a year for the next 5 years, guaranteed. No team option. Screw it. Just here's your money, P. Will. So as good as things feel for you Tuesday night, little reminder, you became bold and strong and beholden to a sensible contract because the rest of the league, whether it's Jonathan Kuminga still not signed, Cam Thomas telling Brooklyn, screw you, I'll take the qualifying offer for $6 million. Quentin Grimes still not signed. You said, I really like Josh Giddey, but not at that price tag. Watch me negotiate hard. Easy to do when the rest of the league is giving you the blueprints. So that's my rant before AK all of a sudden feels like he's the master negotiator. Just remember, you got a big boost from what was going around the culture and the NBA as far as restricted free agents, because you've been there before and it didn't go well. The list. All right, the Bulls right now, like I mentioned, the Bulls right now, even with the Giddey contract, are going to have the third most cap space as of right now after this season. So this is the 25-26 season. For the summer of 26, a year from now, the Bulls will enter that summer with the third best cap space. The Wizards will have the most, and Utah is only $1 million below the Bulls right now. Things can change, obviously. At $76 million, the Bulls are in for about $77 million guaranteed contracts. So of the guys that are under those guaranteed contracts, who do I have the most confidence in? Who do I say, yeah, these are the building pieces? Yes, this guy is a guy I really covet moving forward and saying, worth the contract, skill set matches up. The guys that are under contract, these are the rankings of their foundation pieces in my eyes. We're going to start at number 8. We got 2 guys there, Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips. The only reason I put them there, they're role players. And guess what? Rookie contracts, they have to start making decisions on those guys. So I don't even know if they're going to be part of the equation. This is a huge year for both to show something. So, because I don't know their future and the Bulls don't know their future. And if you ask Julian and Dalen, they don't know their future. So that's why I put him 8th, because I don't even know if they're going to qualify if I ask this question in 3 months. Jalen Smith, number 7. He signed this year and next year. He's kind of fallen out of the rotation, fallen out of favor. Put him at 7. Number 6. Might surprise some people, might not. Patrick Williams at $18 million a year for 4 more years. You're stuck with it. And that's the scary thing. If they re-sign Kobe White and Giddey's at 25, if Kobe goes for 40, you're at 65. Kick another 18 in there. That's $83 million in 3 guys, which could be for next year, and not one of them is an all-star or has sniffed all-star status. Kobe, you could argue, played like an all-star at times last year, but he's not. That's the scary thing. Patrick Williams, number 6. Number 5, I'm going with the Rook, Noah Essengay. I don't know what he is. I know he's built like olive oil. I know he's awkward. I know he has a lot of development to do. And this year is a redshirt year as far as I'm concerned. He won't be a regular in the rotation. There'll be a lot of G League games. If Noah Essengay is in the rotation, it's not because something went very right for Noah Essengay. Something went very wrong for the Bulls, because there is no reason that he should be above Patrick Williams, Modest Buchelis, Isaac Okoro, period. I'll just say those 3. Forget Julian Phillips and kind of what is he, small forward / whatever. So if Noah Essengay is playing more than that, problems. Number 4, love this dude. The ultimate thinking point guard, the media darling, the coach's pet, Trey Jones. Cheap contract, $8-9 million a year for the next 3 years. I think he was 3 years, $24 million. Phenomenal contract. Love this dude. The ultimate come off the bench, stabilize stuff, maybe even finish games if Kobe or if Giddey is having an off night. Love him. He's number 4. Number 3, like this dude a lot, Isaac Okoro. Great teammate already. Proven defensive commodity, unlike Patrick Williams, who I think is an overrated defensive commodity. I don't care what the analytics tell me. I can watch a game and say Patrick Williams is not the defender that AK likes to pretend he is. Stronger, bullish type players, I think Patrick Williams is your guy. Faster threes, even 2s and 1s, forget it. They'll cook Patrick unless he can, get into him physically. Give me Isaac Okoro, number 3. He signed through this year and next year. Pretty cheap contract. That negotiation will be interesting. Number 2, Josh Giddey, that recently talked about many, many minutes in this podcast. Josh Giddey, to me, he is not the guy that we saw the last 15 games, but he is definitely not the guy that we saw pre-Zach LaVine trade, pre-All-Star. He's somewhere in between over the course of an NBA season. I think he can be a 20-point scorer. He's not a 47% shooter from 3 or whatever the hell he was the last 15 games. He's not that. Could he be 40? Maybe. Patton's gone, and that was his guy. They got rid of Peter Patton. That's the shooting Yoda that helped a lot of these guys. But I definitely think he could be a 9-9 as far as assists and rebounds type guy. If he improves his defense, get back to me. We'll revisit this because then we're talking about a different animal. And number 1, his name comes out a lot whenever I'm talking about number 1s in the future of the Bulls organization. Matas Buchelis, you are the future. You are the hope. You are the chosen one. He is the guy I feel most confident about moving forward the next, whatever his rookie contracts, extends and goes to. But for at least this year, next year, give me Matas Buchelis number 1. Love everything about him. Love everything I'm hearing this offseason about him. Adding some muscle, adding the hustle behind that muscle. Phenomenal. Number 1, to me, the face of the franchise moving forward, Matas Buchelis. That's it from me. Glad my boy, the crime dog, could jump in. Until next week, I got next.